What's up, Moto fam? Welcome back to another One Tight Moto production. Listen, as always, if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. More importantly, sharing is caring. If you don't remember, I put a video out on the Indian Challenger, and I test rode the Indian Challenger, and I rode it with a group doing a big Indian demo ride. And I talked about group riding and all these hand signals that they had you doing. And if you don't remember the video, here it is, me commenting about those hand signals.
You ride with groups. And in groups, they throwing up signals, stop, right turn, left turn, they pointing, they listen, kicking their legs. There was a guy in front of me. They kicked their legs and the guy saw him, and the purpose of kicking legs is to show, I guess, there's a pothole. This guy swerving all over the place. I'm like, what the world? The pothole.
So today, listen, I'm here to show you all the hand signals. There's about 16 of them, all the hand signals that are really relevant to motorcycles, whether you are a new rider or a seasoned rider. I know all the basic signs, for example, your left turns, your right turns, and the infamous, stop. With that said, let's jump right into it so we can check out those hand signals. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about these signals here, all right? There's 16 of them. Some you may have used, some you may not have used. I can tell you right now, when I was in the group, they were doing a few, and I was like, what in the world are they doing? So I thought it'd be best if we all know and practice what these signals are, and we're gonna run right through it, okay? The first signal here is gonna be for a left-hand turn. Essentially, you stick your arm out left, and you basically keep your palm down, and that's signifying that you're gonna make a left turn. A lot of times when I'm riding, I'll do this. I'll be like this, like I'm making a left turn for cars so they know, almost like a blinking signal. I'll do this, but essentially this right here will suffice for a left-hand turn, okay? You're making a left turn. Next, we have the right-hand turn. For the right-hand turn, essentially what you're doing is you're sticking your arm out, your fists closed, and you're putting it in a 90-degree angle. And this is signifying that you're making a right turn. When you're riding, you're always keeping your right hand on the throttle, right? You're always making sure that your right hand is on the throttle. So just be aware of that. We've done left hand, we've done right hand turns. Now we want to talk about stopping, notifying individuals that you plan to stop. Essentially, you're going to go ahead and, similar to you stick your arm out, but instead of putting it up in this position, you're gonna actually put it down in this position, okay? Palm open, basically saying and signifying that you plan to stop, all right? It's almost like you're doing the robot, okay? But you're basically here in this position here. That's signifying the group that you plan to stop, okay? The next signal we're gonna be discussing is the speed up signal. You're gonna be taking your arm, putting it out essentially, and moving it in the up direction, signifying to the group behind you, hey, you want them to speed up, okay? Very simple, stick your arm out, palm facing up, speed up. If you want the group to slow down, then you're gonna stick your arm out and basically go down, palm down, slow down. Tell them to slow down. You can also use this for cars. If there's a hazard in the roadway, you want cars to slow down, hey, slow down, slow down, slow down. If in fact there's a car on your right-hand side, listen, put your arm out real quick and tell them to slow down if they don't happen to see it, okay? But essentially it's your left hand, palm facing down, slow down. If you want them to speed up, you want the group to speed up, palm facing up, speed up. This next signal here is, while you're riding with groups, is follow me signal. Almost similar to the right hand turn. Instead of doing a right hand angle with your hand clenched, you're gonna actually put your arm up here and basically palm up, and you're telling the group, hey, follow me, right? This is typically used when a rider's coming up and they're taking over and they want the group to follow them. You got a rider coming away from the back. If you're at a traffic light and you got separated and the last rider moves into that lead position for that new group in order to catch up with the other group, again, quick, hey, follow me. This is the signal right here, follow me. This next signal here, they call it you lead / come. Basically, when you're riding and you want someone to take over the lead, you essentially point at them and move the hand forward. Point at them and move the hand forward. You want them to take the lead. This next signal here is the one that threw me off. I saw him doing it. I wasn't quite sure what it meant. I'm being totally honest. I don't typically ride with groups, but it's for if there's a hazard in the roadway, all right? If there's a hazard in the roadway on your left-hand side, you're pointing at the hazard. So you're notifying other people there's a hazard in the roadway, hazard. If there's a hazard on the right-hand side, you kick your foot. You're kicking your foot out to identify the hazard. That's the one that confused me because I was like, what in the world is going on here? And that's when the guy in front of me started swerving. I'm like, what in the world is he doing for this little small pothole? But if you want to signify to the group there's a hazard in the roadway, you point to it with your finger. And if it's on the right-hand side, you can use your foot and kick your foot out. If you are the leader of the group and you want the group to single file, it's similar to the follow me, but you put one finger up. This is the signal right here, single file, single file. So let me preface, everything that I'm telling you about these signals here are something that you should be sharing with the group before the ride. So everybody knows what those signals are, all right? 16 signals, real simple, I think. Like once you know them, you should know them. I never knew all 16 signals, I only knew a few because I didn't do a ton of group riding. But now I know, and sharing is caring. So single file, one finger up, basically you're telling them, hey, single file, okay? The next signal is the double file or double up. If you want them to now double up as opposed to single file, instead of putting up the single finger, you basically got two fingers up, right? And essentially when you put that up, the next person behind you should be notifying, hey, everybody, we're doubling up. Those signals are basically going down the line so everybody knows, all right? Same thing with the left turn, same thing with the right turn, etc. It's like a dominoes, right? You basically, hey, we're making a right turn. That next person behind them should be notifying. We're making a left turn, right? That next person should be notifying. We're slowing down. We're speeding up. Everybody should be basically like a domino effect, notifying one another. So this next signal here is called the comfort stop. Never heard of it before? Comfort stop, all right? Essentially what you're doing is you're putting your arm out and you have your hand in a fist here, almost like you have a can of paint in your hand and you're basically going like this, shaking it up and down. I'm sure there's some other iterative of this here and how people might do it, but this is supposed to be comfort stop. Comfort, all right? For whatever that means. Whatever. But this is the comfort stop, okay? So this next signal is going to be for essentially a refreshment stop, get something to eat, as opposed to that comfort stop where you're maybe just stretching your legs. And it's essentially, you're basically going like this. You got your hand out and then you're going kind of quickly like this. Now, when you're going like this, you're essentially pointing your thumb to your helmet, but you're keeping your eyes on the road. Remember, don't take your eyes off the road when doing it. Keeping your eyes on the road. All right, this is refreshment stop. I ain't never heard of it before, but I know now, okay? And so do you. Refreshment stop. Pass it down the road. This next signal is supposedly to inform your riders, your co-riders, if they've left their turn signals on, you want to notify them, all right? Essentially, if you notice someone who has a signal on, you could probably give a quick beep to them, beep, and then you put your hand out and you basically go like this. That's supposed to notify that your signal is on so they can turn it off, all right? I've done that before. I left my signals on. I've actually seen other motorcyclists leave their signals on, and I previously did not know how to notify them about it, but now I know, and so do you. This next signal right here is the pull-off signal. And I've watched videos before, and I've seen police use this. They'll be like, they get over on the motorcycle, and they're like, hey, pull over. They're telling you to pull over. They pull in front of you real quick, and they do that. Same thing for us as group riders. If you want your group to pull over, you basically are taking your hand and putting it here and going like this, okay? You're basically telling pull over, pull over. This next signal here is for keeping the roadway safe for police and fire officials, right? We typically will take our hand. If you see a police officer on the road and you're riding in a group and you want to notify the group that police officers are ahead and you want to be careful riding past them so that you don't cause any potential damage or harm, or you just want to, notify them that the police are ahead, you can go like this, tap your helmet, okay? Take this and tap your helmet. That's the universal signal. That's probably the first signal I learned when riding a motorcycle. This right here, all right? So this next signal here is essentially informing individuals that you need fuel. But one simple notification, if we all knew this here, is kind of just basically pointing at your tank. Simple, right? Straightforward. Pointing at your tank. Hey, I need to get some gas. I need to get some gas. You are pointing at your tank. That was 16 actual hand signals. There is one more hand signal that I use that I haven't seen shared on online, but I typically use it when I'm lane splitting. So if I'm lane splitting and someone's behind me, and when I say someone, I'm referring to another motorcyclist. If this motorcyclist, while I'm lane splitting, is riding very close to me and seemingly wants to pass, I will look for an opening where I can break in. I don't rush myself to try to jump behind a car so they can pass me. I essentially keep it safe at a safe speed, because there are people who speed through lanes while splitting. I ride at a very comfortable level, but there are other motorcyclists who essentially, as far as I'm concerned, ride way too fast going through. But when I find the opening, I will move on over. I'll signal, move on over left or right into that lane behind the vehicle, and then I will do this depending on what side. If I move into the left lane and they're splitting in right lane, I'll go like this very quickly for them to come through. Just come on through, come on through. If I move over to the right and if I move over to the right lane, then I'll tell them, hey, come on through, so they can know to go ahead and pass. I'm moving out of the way, it's safe for them to pass. And then I'll let all the riders pass. So those are the hand signals. There's 16 plus one that I've just shared with you. Listen, I didn't know all of these, quite frankly, and I've been riding for a while. However, if you don't do group rides, you're not gonna know. But now you know. So listen, make sure you get out there and share this video with your colleagues, your friends, especially for those of you that you ride group rides with. Get it out there and share it. At a minimum, when you're going on a group ride, make sure they're sharing signals. That's all. That's all I'm saying, right? That way you don't be like me, not wondering what in the world is going on with all of these crazy antics that it seems like. All right? I'm Vance, One Type Moto. I love you guys. Again, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. I'm out.